Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me here. I haven't done one of these catch up with Mayo live Q&As in a long time, and I thought that I would start doing them more regularly. This is just going to be a situation where if you have any questions, you can ask. Save them up for next time if you can't think of any this time. And I'll do these every once in a while, and I'm hoping we get enough people involved. We'll see how it goes. Joe, yeah, something that I haven't done in a while. And this is your opportunity, I guess, if you have anything specifically to ask me or about anything really. Doesn't just have to be, Beatles related. But I stay away pretty much from, the sensitive issues. We all know what they are. Politics, religion, that kind of thing. Let's see how it goes. All right. So I see we have Oliver in the comments. Hello, Oliver. Good to see you here. And we have about 18 people so far just to start us off. And although of course when you do one of these situations, there might not always be questions to be answered for a while. So let's see. Hey Julio, I just saw Julio today. We were at a record show. What's going on, Julio and Nicholas? Hello, and Adam. You know, so yeah, this is and Jeff. Hello. Yeah, this is again specifically question and answer thing. You know, Okay, this is very good, very good. Thank you. Good question to start with. Thoughts on the passing of Ronnie Spector? Well, I've always liked Ronnie Spector. Not enough of a, huge fan or anything really. There's really not much I could offer. Sometimes I make videos on people who've passed. Sometimes I don't. Depends on just how I feel about it personally. Um, and yeah, wasn't familiar with all of Ronnie Spector's stuff. You know, of course, the Ronette songs that we know. I was listening to Ghosty, that's Dave Ghosty Wills. Listening to his show today, he did a tribute to Ronnie Spector, and I did like one of the songs that he played from the Ronettes that I didn't really remember the name of it now. It's not anything I remember hearing. It's not one of the hits, you know what I mean, so to speak. But that was good, very good. Yeah, and the thing about anytime people pass these days, we know that this is something sadly that's going to be happening more and more in the sense of those people that we admired that are getting older on in years now in their 70s, 80s, and beyond. We know in the next 5 years, sadly, we're going to be losing more and more, and it's not going to be easy all the time. So, hello to Virginia there. I see we got snowy Virginia. And Julio says, I look younger on TV. Yeah, well, there's a few things I do. I think we'll gotta take that hat off, when I wear the hat and I think I look older, to tell you the truth. And so I took the hat off. That helps a lot. Hello, Anthony. We got Grant Man here. Grant Man says, okay, I saw a video of John's nobody told me where John is hanging out with Miles Davis. Do you have any information about that? Where or when, or if they talked about making music together? I'm pretty sure you're referring to, I think in 71, Miles Davis was in the Imagine film. And when I say the Imagine film, I don't mean the documentary from 1988, Imagine John Lennon. Talking about the Miles Davis appearance in the film that John and Yoko just made for their 1971 album Imagine. And I don't know what they talked about, but he's in the movie. Yes, indeed. Ronnie Spector. Julio has a radio show that he does sometimes on Wednesdays. And if you want, Julio, if you want to like write down in here, it's up to you how people can reach you on there. Please do. The details. I know a lot of people like Julio. He's a wealth of information. I keep begging this man to do a channel on YouTube, and you can't ask him any more than that because he has a lot of knowledge. It's amazing. Never short on knowing stuff about film, but music. I said film because I'm looking at some other comments here. No, music, film too. I guess we talked about film and music today. That's on my mind as well. Okay, all right. Um, hello, JMG. I forget your name. I forget your name, but I know it, but I forgot it. Any thoughts on the Fred Seaman book on John Lennon? Yeah. Well, I have to say, it is a fascinating book. There's a lot of good information in there about John. I take it with a grain of salt, though, because I still feel that Fred, he was a convicted felon. He stole John Lennon's diaries and some other materials and was convicted of that. And I think he had a bone to pick personally with uh, possibly with Yoko and not so much John, but so some of the stuff in the book is amazing to me, and I've learned stuff. Other things I think maybe I'm not sure about if they're on the level or not. That's how I feel about that. Hello, I don't know why I had a feeling today that Larry Graves was going to show up. Hello, Larry, Canadian Stud Muffin. For those of you who don't know, I just did an appearance over on Canadian Stud Muffin's channel. Go over and subscribe if you haven't already. I recently did a Q&A with Canadian Stud Muffin and Glenn Kellaway, and it was really a blast. It was a lot of fun. I hope to do more appearances in the future. Uh, watching from his couch. What was the most disappointing album you ever bought? Well, Pet Sounds was one of them. I can tell you that. That's the first one that comes to mind. I guess only because Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys is such a classic, and I really wanted to like it. You know, um, that was disappointing. I'm sure there are many others, but I'm sure Larry, when you're doing these broadcasts that are live, you don't always have time to think about it. They're pretty much lightning questions, and I don't always know uh, what these albums are. They don't come to mind all the time when you want. If I think of any that pop up as I go along, you know, I'll let you know. Let's see now. Hello, we got Tim Allen here as well. And of course, Tim Allen has a podcast and a channel. I'm trying to see why I can't. There's a problem here I'm facing now, folks. If I wind up having an issue, it seems to be the comments are freezing. There it is. Tim Allen, Ronnie Spector, and Mike Nesmith both hit me hard. I will be featuring both on an upcoming podcast as well. It's the Snap, Crackle, Pop, and Pop. Hello, Kimba. Yeah, Rosalie Hawkins, a singer in the Dixie Cups, has died too. The Dixie Cups Chapel of Love. Scott Campbell, any thoughts on the low key Let It Be Blu-ray release and announcement and it not being available to order on Amazon? Yeah, what's up with that? Some people have told me that you can't order it on Amazon. I haven't looked myself. I don't know what the low key business is. Because I'm thinking of just going to the stores and picking it up at a store. That it's going to be available at certain stores like Target and things like that. I hope it's going to be. Otherwise, I'd better get to ordering because I haven't ordered it. I prefer to always buy in person from stores when you can, you know. Okay, will the IMAX rooftop concert be the full concert or the edited piece from Get Back? Now, I hear it's going to be just the edited piece from Get Back. It's supposed to run about an hour. So I don't know what's going to be there aside from it, but the rooftop itself, I think, is about 45 minutes or so. So maybe a little more. Don't know exactly what you're going to get, and I don't know if you're going to get just a straight concert with just the Beatles, or are you going to also get the people in the streets and the police and everything with the split screen? I don't know. I'm not going to be going, by the way. I'm not going to be seeing it. So other people have to let me know, please. What's my favorite John Lennon concert I've ever been to? Andrew, well, never made it to a John Lennon concert. And I don't think many people have really. I think they're privileged. I don't. There's people in Canada that were around for the Toronto show that went. Older people now that were lucky to go there. And I know some people went to see the one-to-one concert in New York City, Madison Square Garden, '72. And I know one of them was Mark Lapidus, who does the Fest for Beatles fans. I know he went there. I wish I could have been to one, but didn't make it. Hello, Marcus. Do I buy the fact that Lennon and Linda McCartney had an affair? I guess it was one of the things Lennon wrote in these diaries. I've never heard of it. I never heard of that, even as a rumor. I doubt it very, very much. But I do know from Linda McCartney's own mouth, this is something people may not know. In interviews, she had said, and Paul even confirmed it, she didn't really like Paul at first. She liked John. John was her favorite. And even Paul would sit next to her and say, "Yeah, she liked John," and joking around. So that's kind of interesting. Love Linda McCartney. I always liked her. I respected her. Thought she was like. People ask me who you think is the best Beatle wife. I always say Linda. And the thing about Linda though is, hey, people pick on Yoko. Oh, she snagged the Beatle. Well, so did Linda. Not in any kind of evil or malicious way. But Paul asked her, so she went with Paul, even though John was her pick, more or less. So there you go. Let me see, just going through. Okay, Instant Karma video with Alan White on drums. John is really rocking. Yeah, have I seen it? And yeah, I love it. I love it. The Top of the Pops, Instant Karma. I think from Top of the Pops. I think you mean is really where it comes from, and it's now it's considered a video now, or whatever. But yeah, that's one of my greatest John moments of all. Yeah. Okay, reading some comments here. Oh, let's see. Nicholas says definitely check out Sunflower and Surf's Up by the Beach Boys. I think those would be more your speed. Well, I like the Beach Boys hits, and I have early albums of theirs. I don't remember the name of them. Is Surf's Up one of them? Surf a Girl is one of them. Surf in USA maybe is another one. Hello to Joe G. Oh no, I haven't heard any other Beach Boys albums like Friends in 2020. I was on a live stream once, L7 Casanova. Maybe some of you people know that person, and he played a lot of the Smile sessions. I didn't like that. I didn't like that any more than Pet Sounds. To tell you the truth, I like good vibrations. Okay, Adams. Adam is asking, what is your advice? How do you tell someone that the good original shows and films can be better than the remakes? That's interesting because I'm currently involved in a movie channel. By the way, I'm going to take a moment to plug my movie channel. If you like movies and TV, check it out. There's another channel I have, and it's called just simply Mayo's Movies. Please subscribe. And there's a woman I know who is a fan of classic black and white films, and she's younger than I am. I think she's 39, if I remember her saying. And yet, she runs across that problem too. People don't want to always watch you know, uh, older stuff a lot of times. A lot of people like the remakes. Well, you just have to take them for what they are. I think if you really just try them, the originals, you may find out you like them even better than the remakes, even if the remakes for some young people, especially, are more modern. But there are times when I even like the remake better. One of the examples for me, I much prefer. I'll tell you two examples. I love the 1978 remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. with Donald Sutherland. I like that better than the original from '56. And then later on, John Carpenter's The Thing with Kurt Russell from 1982. I like better than The Thing from Another World from 1951. So there you go. Do I like jazz? Not really. Not a jazz fan. I hear a lot of it because my friend Corey, who works at the record store that I go to, is a big jazz fan. He plays it all the time. It bores me for the most part, to tell you the truth. Maybe I'm not so sophisticated. People might say, people think, oh, you don't like jazz, you're not very sophisticated. Well, I don't like, when I say I don't like jazz, I'm talking about improv jazz, and it just doesn't go anywhere. It kind of meanders. I like more structure, for lack of a better word, to my music. And that's why I like big band. If you consider big band a form of jazz, I like big band. I like swing music better. To me, that's more my level, I guess you could say. Hello, Christian. Hello, Simon. Or what system do you play your vinyl on, and do you prefer stereo or mono for the Beatles? Well, I have a Techniques turntable around. I think it's 1980 or so. It's used turntable. I have a Techniques receiver, and the speakers here are by KEF. You, and they're not very good speakers, I don't think. But someday when I move into a larger house, I plan to get a really better system overall. Let's see. Do I prefer stereo or mono for the Beatles? I always say depends on a few things. It depends on the song usually. Some Beatles songs I prefer in mono, depending on the song. Like off the top of my head, I prefer "And I Love Her" in mono. I prefer "Revolution" in mono. Some songs I prefer in stereo for the Beatles. One of them is "Money, That's What I Want." I like better in stereo. "Matchbox." I like better in stereo. It depends on what it is. I tend to prefer the White Album in stereo. I like the stereo White Album. I do not like the mono White Album at all. And I know the Beatles really preferred Sergeant Pepper, the album, to be mono, but I also prefer that in stereo for the most part. So it depends. It's really hit and miss. Sometimes I really like mono. My favorite Beatles related book, I always give the same answer. Right now, it's got to be the book Tune In by Mark Lewison, which is really the biography of the Beatles. Um, and we're still waiting for parts two and three. It's going to be a three-parter. This one goes from when their birth up until the first single in or so in 1963. Really, I think they go up to "Please Please Me." I'm trying to remember. I think so. That's how long this book has been since there's been another one, and we don't know when the new one's coming out. So yeah. And Julio, our informant, tells us yesterday Ralph Emery died. And is he from the just remind me, because I don't want to say it wrong. Here's the thing, this is it's a serious question. Would John Lennon have had many more years alive if he'd have moved to a country with better gun control legislation? I guess borders on the political, but the whole thing with that to me is, well, first of all, the guy who did it, the asshole who did it, came from Hawaii and went to New York. And that's one thing, and he could have went almost anywhere to do that. The second thing is, I always answer that by saying we don't know what fate would have been. Suppose, like for example, John Lennon had stayed in England, he never moved to America, and let's say he was crossing the street one day and he got hit by a double decker bus when he was 31. You know, uh, any who knows? So that's my answer to that one. I'll probably be answering that one a lot more. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, any news on the one-to-one concert of John Lennon on remastered Blu-ray? No news yet, but I understand that's the idea at some point because Jack Douglas, who produced Double Fantasies, confirmed that he's worked on restoring this one-to-one concert. I don't know if they use the evening show, afternoon show, a hybrid of both or what. Looking forward to it if it does come, and when, I don't know. But I keep thinking to myself that this is gonna be the 50th anniversary this year, 1972. So I'm really wondering if they're gonna try to put it out. Are they gonna put it out as a standalone event, or is it gonna be part of maybe the Sometime in New York City box? Hmm? If anyone's listening there at the Lennon Estate, I think it's a great idea to kind of tie it in with the Sometime in New York City collection too. Hey Tim, what do you think of the best and worst Beatles related releases of 2021? We did a. If you want to check out another show I do, Talk More Talk. That's another one I gotta remind people. Please subscribe to on YouTube the Talk More Talk channel, and what that is it's a solo Beatles show, and we don't just talk about the Beatles and the solo Beatles. Sometimes we talk about the Beatles. Well, the best release, if you want to call Get Back a release, I don't know if that's where we're going. That's the best thing that came out of 2021. Well, even though it was released as a Disney Plus event, right? But I also think John Lennon Plastic Ono Band was fantastic. The McCartney lyrics book turned out to be very good. Worst Beatles related, I can't really think of anything, to tell you the truth. But the reason I mentioned Talk More Talk, we did a show on that over there, a fairly recent show. Our what we liked and didn't like about 2021. So check out that video. Did John Lennon sell out the Garden at the concert? I don't know. Oh well, no. There are commercials where he says the one-to-one benefit concert has been sold out, so we're adding a special matinee performance. So I guess the evening sold out. Then they added a matinee. So okay, what's the rarest item you've bought from the local record store you make videos about? It looks like a great place to explore vinyl wise. It is, and I'm just trying to think though. Again, sometimes recollection with certain things like that. The rarest item that I've bought. Well, there was a time when I bought a Buddy Holly album. First album, not with the crickets, but kind of like without the crickets, and it was rather expensive, and it was a really in great shape, from the 50s. And what made it special was that it was a promo. It was like, a promo album too. That was pretty good. And I'm sure there were other ones. Yeah, we should also mention too that there's going to be a Q&A with Peter Jackson with the IMAX showing of Get Back. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be streamed, whatever they do, satellite, whatever, fed to participating theaters. Who do I think will win the Super Bowl this year? One thing you got to know about me, I've never watched a game of football in my life. I've never played a game of football in my life. I do like baseball, but football, I can't find anything more boring. They say baseball's boring. I find football absolutely and terminally boring. Now you say, how could that be if you've never watched a game? I've tried. When I say I've tried, when I've sat at somebody else's house for a holiday or something, they had it on. I didn't do it voluntarily. Or when I was waiting for a special, what is it called? The half show performance, or maybe with like Paul McCartney or somebody I want to see, I'd have to sit there and wait till anxiously waiting for the break for the show, halftime show. I don't know what it's called, but at halftime, but whatever it is, I just find it boring. I don't understand it. They move a foot or two, get tackled, and then you wait. They set up everything. Wait, wait, wait. Okay, let's go. Resume time. Move another foot or two or three. Sometimes, if you're lucky, they'll go 10 to 20 feet and then they stop again. No, it's just not for me. So I really don't know who's in the Super Bowl, but I don't care really, to tell you the truth. I'm being honest. Okay, I wonder if there's a chance we might get to see the Elton John concert with John Lennon from November '74, Thanksgiving Day. Well, it doesn't exist. There is no footage of it, and not even a lot of photographs from it. But, there is a legitimate home movie silent bit of footage that's going around. It's not very long. I've seen it, but not lately, and it's not a fake. There's some fakes out there. This is a real whole movie from the audience on 8 millimeter, I guess, and it's silent, but it's the only thing I know. So that's pretty funny. Thank you very much, Grant. Man, that's funny. Figured I put that up for a laugh. Well, Julio and I have a little joke. A lot of times I'll tell him how much I love a song, and then Julio spoils it for me by telling me, that's a remake. Somebody did that already. And when it comes to I Love Rock and Roll, I knew that already. I knew that from the very beginning. I became a Joan Jett fan in 1982 when I Love Rock and Roll was a big hit. And Joan Jett was, all over radio then. She's very popular because she had the number one hit. And she told everybody how, I didn't write the song. She said it was a cover version. It was a B-side by a group called the Arrows. So I knew that one. Okay. What type of comedy show do you like the best, improv or stand up? I have no specific on that. I enjoy if they're funny. I like them all. I don't have like a favorite of that to tell you. Let's see, where do we go? I missed something happened that I jumped ahead. Wow, Rubber Soul Mono. Okay, let's see. I'm just looking at some. Do you? Let's see. Do you rate A Hard Day's Night, Help, and Magical Mystery Tour as standalone films, or do you just view them as Beatle movies? Well, they're both the Beatle movies and the standalone films, depending on what angle you're going from. You know, when I get to the point where I make videos about them, I have a movie channel again, Mayo's Movies. Please subscribe. Go over there, please, on YouTube if you like movies. And yeah, when I talk about A Hard Day's Night, Help, Magical Mystery Tour, etc., I'll do that here on the Mean Mr. Mayo channel. Let's see. Do I like any animated films or TV shows? Well, I don't. It's funny. If you mean animated TV shows, if you mean stuff like, oh, help me out here, South Park or what's that other guy? The guy. This is how you know you're old. The whatever guy. I know what it is. I can't think what it is now. I don't watch. I don't watch them. No, Simpsons. That stuff. No. Animated films. I'm not big on animated films either, to tell you the truth. Yellow Submarine. I like cartoons, old cartoons like Bugs Bunny and Popeye and that stuff. But hello to Cherry Carter. Let's see. Uh, yeah, it's always odd that Lennon always referenced the age of 40, made mentionings of not being afraid of death, and said he felt comfortable walking the streets of New York. Almost seemed way too ironic. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's chilling, really. Going on and saying how safe he felt walking around New York. It's what can you say? If you could spend the night alone at Friar Park, would you do it? It's huge and seems weird and spooky. It used to be a nunnery, plus all those strange little dwarfs, really freaky. I guess I would. Why not? We gotta try something different. I prefer to do it when George was alive and I could maybe say hi to him. Uh, yeah, but I guess so. Now, and who was it? Again, I'm drawing a blank. Somebody recently, we heard a story of somebody who spent the night at Friar Park, and I cannot remember who it is. I know who it is. Oh boy, the guy, the redheaded young guy that was in Get Back, and I forget his name right now again at the moment. It was him. I think I saw an interview with him that he got to spend the night there, I believe. Do I watch Amos and Andy? No, I do not, though I know who they are. What Australian are you most familiar with, Joe? Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't always think of people by their background or anything. If we're talking about people, I suppose yourself, for one. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to watch this out. My memory fails me. Then I'll get off and I'll say, "Oh man, there's 17 people I forgot about." No, I don't know. Speaking of Buddy Holly, do you think he would have met and or jammed with the Beatles? Oh, I think they would have met up eventually. Jammed, nobody can say, but I would think their paths would have crossed. The Beatles were big fans and took a lot in their style from Buddy Holly. Am I a good cook? Well, I don't know because I can't really cook, and I say I can't cook at present. You can always learn. You can always, there are certain things I make for myself, and, but I don't consider myself a cook, you know, and it would really help if I could learn a little bit. But, yeah. Do you think they will do a reissue of the Beatles in mono on vinyl? As I had missed the boat. Now they're on eBay for over 1,000 English pounds. Yeah, they're very expensive. They're real collectible items now. Frankly, I hope they do at some point, but I have heard nothing about it. Nothing yet about that. Favorite Beatles compilation? I love rock and roll music. I got the poster here. That's probably my favorite. I also like 62 to 66, 67 to 70. You know, let's see. What do you think is the next project, Beatles or solo, excluding John Lennon live in New York City? Uh, I would like to think that they're going to try to get some McCartney archives out. I'm hoping Back to the Egg and or London Town. I have nothing. I don't know anything about that. If any of you know for sure, let us know. But it would be totally brand new news because nobody's really heard that. So don't know if it's going to happen. And that's the name of the guy. Yes, Kevin. Yes, Kevin Harrington. Kevin Harrington is the name of the redheaded guy. Yes, from Get Back, who I believe said in an interview that he got to spend a night or two in George's estate. How is Don doing on these cold winter days? I hope he has warm shelter. I haven't seen Don in a while, but Don has been doing this since 1992, and he's always very, very efficient at finding shelter, staying warm, and yeah, I'm sure he's doing the same for this winter as he always has. I wish him well with that. Am I a fan of Electric Light Orchestra? Well, as a lot of you know who have been following me for a long time, when people ask me, "Am I a fan?" That's a strange word for me because fan implies something a little more. I like Electric Light Orchestra. I also very much like Jeff Lynne as a producer, and I like a bunch of the popular songs, by Electric Light Orchestra, "Turn to Stone," "Evil Woman," uh, "Don't Bring Me Down," etc. So yeah, that if that makes me a fan, perhaps. Let's see now. Let's see. Hello, Hoops. Who would win an arm wrestle, Paul or Brian Wilson? I think I'd have different answers for that at different times. I think if it happened right now, Paul would win. Yeah. What is my favorite memory of the fest for Beatles fans in general? And also, what was it like when they had the film showing in their theaters? Wow. Well, what- first I'll tell you, it was fun when you saw the film showing inside the ballroom, really on the projector, because everybody would react. You'd see Help or A Hard Day's Night or Let It Be and other stuff. You'd watch it before you had really home video, before they were out really on VHS tapes and DVD and things like that. And everybody got into it together. It was a community experience. I always like watching films and prefer them in a theater or in a gathering with a lot of people, as long as they don't ruin the movie, as long as they're all into it and they're all behaving themselves and applauding in the right places, laughing in the right places, stuff like that. As far as my favorite memory, a lot of them have to do with my dear departed friend Mike, who I lost when he was only 47. We went to a bunch of Beatlefest together, and some of those were my favorite. Not so much because of what was going on there, but because he was with me and we had a lot of laughs. We had like just funny things. Like one story I remember. You know, I never laughed harder in my life. I literally mean this. I think the hardest time I ever laughed, the most hearty, was when I went with my friend Mike to Beatlefest in 1982, and they have the sound alike bands, Battle of the Bands, Beatle bands, where they try to sound like the Beatles. And there was some really poor. God bless them. I mean, and they tried their best, but we had a weird warped sense of humor, Mike and I together. And I just remember one band was playing the song "Boys," and the guy was on the drums, and he said, and suddenly he lost like one of the sticks. He lost the sticks on the stick flew out of his hand, and he was like trying to play with one stick, and he's like his voice is like cracking, "Oh, boys," and he's trying to like keep the beat going somehow with one stick in the other hand. And then a friend of his, like from the audience, crawled onto the stage, like so nobody, and tried to find the stick and try to give it to him. It just struck me as hilarious. But then there were things like getting to see, stars there like meeting Harry Nielsen and meeting Victor Spinetti, Victor Spinetti from Hard Day's Night and Help, stuff like that was really exciting. I'm sure there are many more actually. Well, also in recent years, going in 2017, 2018, 2019, before COVID hit, and getting to meet people in person like Beetle Brad and Marv, Beetle Vinyl 85, Alan C. Records, Matthew Street, all my friends. That's the biggest fun to me now. I like going to the Fest for Beatles fans now because we all meet up. It's become a meetup place. It's not so much that the Fest for Beatles fans these days offers a lot of stuff for you. It doesn't anymore. A lot of that's in the past, but it's a great place to meet up and have discussions and vibes, make videos. So that's really kind of what I like about it now. Let's see. And if I missed your questions, I'm sorry. Hello, Penny Lane. What's up there? What's your favorite top Beatles solo 45 cover? Oh, how do you think of that? I guess you got to do what first comes to mind, don't you? Wow. Wow. God. How long am I going to take to think about this one? I'm flashing them all in my head. Wow. That is a great question. I don't want to just come out with any old thing. Paul McCartney had some great covers. Wow. I can't come up with this. Is this crazy or what? There's many of them and I can't come up with one. I usually just like the photos if there's a good photo. They don't have to be like super creative or fancy. I just like a photo of the person. And Paul's got a lot of great ones like that. I'll think of it as I go along. For some reason with John and Yoko, I like the one for woman is the N word of the world. I just like that. I like that photo on it and the way that looks. That's a cover that I like. Um, Ringo's "Back Off Boogaloo" has the Frankenstein monster on it. I like that one. That makes me think uh, of that. There's George Harrison. Oh boy, maybe the cover for the song "You." I like that. And Paul just has way too many of them. I don't know. I mean, I like them all. I like "So Bad." I mean, I like the press cover for the single "Press." Actually, you know, I could go on forever. It's hard to pick one. What do I think of Billy Joel? I like Billy Joel. I consider myself something of a fan. I think he's a very talented man. I think he's a great songwriter and performer. And I am a Billy Joel fan. I like his stuff. I just wish he would do a little more, but he stopped making records around, I think they said 1993. And it would be nice for him to do more, but he doesn't want to, and that's his thing. Are you a Pink Floyd fan? Again, I appreciate Pink Floyd. I don't like. I don't think I like the very first stuff. That's really hardcore psych. But later on, Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, things like that. I like a lot of that stuff. But in baseball, do you find it strange when a free agent signs with a new team? They always say it was where they wanted to be all along, and it's the team that offered the most money. What are the odds of that? Yeah, they're full of crap. You're right. I mean, sometimes if it works, if it happens to gel together, great. Any new rant videos coming up? Love those rants. I'm glad you like the rant videos. Yes, but that depends how I feel, how things come up. If something happens or something makes me annoyed, if we get a really good blizzard or something that kind of like ruins everything, I might do another blizzard rant. Who knows? I should also mention, you know, King of Broadway says my favorite solo Beatles 45 sleeve is Waterfalls. Um, you know, a lot of my favorite sleeves are foreign sleeves. Like there's one for Ringo Starr, Goodnight Vienna. I don't know if it's a Australian sleeve or a German one. There's some really good Ringo Starr foreign sleeves. A lot of the foreign sleeves. I'll tell you one that I love. This might be my favorite sleeve. It's Paul McCartney, Junior's Farm. I think it is. Or is it High, High, High and Sea Moon? Oh, wow. Let's put it this way. I think this photo that I like is on a lot of different 45 sleeves, regardless of the song. And it has Paul almost like a magician with a top hat. It has a big C. So I wonder if it's Sea Moon on the B side, High, High, High and Sea Moon. It has a big half moon, and Linda's lying back, sprawled out on it like that. Okay, that's maybe my very favorite Paul sleeve. And by the way, folks, I'm reading. Don't feel like I'm not reading some comments here because I'm reading them, but not all of them. I'm not putting all of them up, but I'm reading them. Okay. Thoughts on Ringo, Joe Walsh, and friends doing Funk 49 this month now on YouTube. Check it out, folks, because I got a real kick out of it. But most importantly, Ringo Starr, the man is going to be 82 years old this July 7th. And he looks fantastic. We always say that about him. The guy looks like he's 40. I mean, he looks half his age. He's doing it up with the hair dye, and he's got his hair's a little longer, and he just looks really good for his age. That's that's really it was a lot of fun to watch. Okay. Can I please point out statues on the top shelf? You talking about from this side? Over here I've got the Shemp bobblehead, Shemp Howard from the Three Stooges. Over here I've got a bank of Galen from Planet of the Apes TV series, chimpanzee. Over here I've got a model. If this is what we're talking about, I don't know. Over here I've got a model of Cordelius from Planet of the Apes. Over here is a Dr. Zayas over the head mask. In the back here, brown is a Dr. Zayas bank. Planet of the Apes. Yeah, I'm a Planet of the Apes guy. I can't see what we got here. King Kong from King Kong versus Godzilla and Godzilla. Over here we got Mo, a doll of Mo from the Three Stooges. Over here we've got a bust of John Lennon. I think that covers that, if that's what we're talking about. Okay, looks like we're at the end of the line for now. I'll see if anybody else comes up with any thoughts or questions. Or in the meantime, I'll put the little trivia. John wears the same jacket on the cover of Yesterday and Today and the back cover of the American Help album. He wore it all the time. All right. Hello to Lise, by the way. I see Lisa's here. Thank you, Tim. Right, Tim. Yeah, right. Did we make a trade or something? And I got that from you. I love that. Thank you much. So I was Junior's Farm. Woo! I got it. You know. Do I like Laurel and Hardy? No, I don't like Laurel and Hardy. I love Laurel and Hardy. I love Laurel and Hardy. Big fan of Laurel and Hardy. And yeah, I'm gonna have to, as time goes on, I'm gonna have to do more on my movie channel. Again, did I say my movie channel is called Mayo's Movies? Check that out. Also subscribe to. I've got three channels going. The other one is Talk More Talk. Talk More Talk is Beatles and solo Beatles related. Also, tell him Mr. Mayo sent you. By the way. Hmm. I certainly agree with this. Certainly do. But in which context are we talking about, Christian? You really noticed in the Get Back movie that George was the best dresser of the Beatles. Hmm. Yeah, John was the worst, but in that period anyway. Although he did have that one really nice, like colorful stripy shirt that he wore, John, which I thought was. Can I tell who's doing my new Fab Gabs with me yet? No, it's going to be a secret, and I honestly don't think anybody's going to be able to guess, to tell you the truth. But people have tried to guess, but you never know. You never know. And just to promote that, next Sunday at this very time, I'm going to be doing a Fab Gab live with my new co-host. For those who don't know, Matthew Street, who used to do the Fab Gab show with me, is still going to appear from time to time as his schedule permits. But because of being busy and other things, he doesn't want to commit to being there every show. So, yeah, that's the update on Fab Gab. And that's going to be next Sunday, right here. I'll be 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Same time I started this chat, 3 p.m. Did I happen to see they released a new Laurel and Hardy restoration Blu-ray set? Yeah, I saw that. I don't have it. Do you think it might be comparable to the Little Rascals Blu-ray? I'm thinking it might be. If it's the same, is it the same people who did it? I think so. The only thing is, I want all of their short film subjects to be released in that improved quality, not just a handful of random selection. So I don't know how I feel about getting that. Yeah, Ringo dresses well too, and Get Back. I'll go along with that. Did you like the movie Stan and Ollie? It's yeah, yeah. It's funny again because I saw that with my friend Anthony, and I remember we saw it on Martin Luther King Day. We had the day off. We went to a theater, and it was bitter cold, like 1 degree out, and we saw it. In fact, I think I made a video on it. We went to see Stan and Ollie. I liked it. I liked it okay, but it really was not, as I've later found out, not true, 100% true. That's the thing. A lot of those movies are good, but they're not faithful. And I can understand taking artistic license and stuff like that, but at least try to get most of it right. I mean, sometimes I always say that the real story of of people is just as interesting without having to make stuff up, without having to make stuff up or delete stuff. It's still interesting on its own. Hello there, Kudahay 1960. Good of you to show up. No questions on this end, and just really enjoy your shows. You, Beetle Brad, Music Man, and Marvin, and others have been an inspiration. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And I love the Four Seasons. So, but I don't like the Four Seasons in stereo too much, I think I prefer them in mono. George's purple shirt in part three was amazing. Oh, Tim Allen's going to start a rumor that I got Denny Lane to co-host Fab Four. You never know. Could be Paul McCartney. I ain't saying nothing. Oh, I see Ringo being active. Oh, yes, absolutely. You're 1,000% right, and that's something I intend to do. People don't think I'm active, but I am. Okay, but lately not as much. You know, but yeah, no, you got to keep that. That's the whole secret. I know. My grandfather, rest his soul, he lived to 88. But, he always loved laying on the couch and didn't really do anything, and as he got older, even though he lived to 88, he started having a lot of problems with his legs and stuff. You gotta move. Ringo and others be the first ones to tell you that. Okay, do I have any thoughts on or plans on seeing or reviewing the new Tiny Tim documentary? None at all, to tell you the truth, none at all. Thank you very much, Frognut. I appreciate this comment from you. Thanks. Thank you very much. As I say, if people don't watch, why do you bother? You know, boy, I tell you, Adam, I can always count on you, Adam, for questions, and I mean that as a compliment. Thank you. Sit to bail me out when I don't have any questions coming. Do you plan to review any music-related documentaries in general? You know something? Last year, I watched, not for the first time, but for the first time in many years, I watched my DVD of "Gimme Shelter," the Rolling Stones movie, and I meant to make a video. I never got around to it. I kept procrastinating, and then it got to the point where I can't make a video until I see the movie again. Really, to have all my thoughts fresh. But yeah, we'll see what I wind up coming up with. Hello, Debbie. Got my IMAX ticket for the January 30th showing. Ticket was a bit pricey here in Southern California. Well, I've heard that the tickets somewhere, Debbie, are like $40 or something like that, I think. So you got lucky, I think. That's not bad for maybe a once in a lifetime, maybe chance to see the rooftop on a big screen with an IMAX quality. That's good. Thank you, William. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, means a lot. Okay. Let's see if I can go back. We're kind of caught up. I'm just looking to see if I might have missed anything. Okay, Jim Morrison, Lizard says also hoping for some more impressions at the fast food drive-through. Yeah, I decided to do that, and as the weather gets nicer, I'll do that. I don't do that. I do that in the spring and summer, I guess. And yeah, I'll try doing that. I'll come up with some more people that I do. I do. You could. You could do a search if you want to see those videos. Just go and search my channel, however that you do that in the function, and go up and write. I don't know. Go. What is it called? Goes to the drive-in or orders food from the drive-in in general, and then you'll see people like Paul McCartney going through the drive-in, and Rodney Dangerfield, Archie Bunker, and Fred Sanford. Yeah, funny. Um, how many T-shirts do you own? This is a brand new one that my one of the ones that I got for Christmas, and it's you can't see it good here, but it's actually let me take this damn thing off. That'll help. It's Let It Be Rooftop, It actually looks better on screen than it does in person. It's a little busy. You can't really tell what it is. So, and I don't know how many do I have? I don't know. The thing is, I got a lot in the closet that no longer fit. Surprise, surprise. But I'm saving them because they're gonna fit. Oh, they're gonna fit. you know. But yeah, and so forth. So I don't know how many though. I don't know. I would say maybe 50. I don't know. Maybe less than 50. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, and Don't Look Back. That's another one. Yeah, I love Don't Look Back. The Bob Dylan documentary. I own that. I went to see that in a big theater. Just to see it at theater. Yes, indeed. And I like that documentary very much. And yeah, I'll try to remember to make a documentary video about that documentary. The video about that documentary. Yeah, a lot of people a lot of people I don't know there, little girl. A lot of people there seem to like my Archie Bunker impression. Huh? Well, geez there, meathead, huh? Oh, come on there, little girl, huh? Yeah. So, hello, Paulina. Let's see, what do we got here? You definitely have to come on here every time. I want you, Adam, please. Anytime I'm doing one of these catch up with Mayos Q&A shows, please be here all the time because you always keep me floating. Would you ever watch or have you seen any films or shows with Wilfred Bramble, Paul's grandfather from Hard Day's Night, other than that Beatles film? I haven't seen anything else with him in it, but he's supposed to be. He did a show called Steptoe and Son, which is right actually a British comedy that was the inspiration for the U.S. Sanford and Son. But I don't go out. I wouldn't go out of my way to see a movie just because he was in it. But if I happen to see one, sure. Let's see. Do I think that EMI should ever finally do a proper release of the Beatles Deco editions and make them canon or no? Yeah, that would be nice to do. That would be very nice to do to make it really the official. But I wonder, so many times I've seen some out there that are almost, you know, almost like official. But I know what you mean when you say to make them canon. You know, I'd like to see a really proper album done on them. Yeah, but they're not that. They're not. The sessions are not that good. You know. What's the scariest film I've seen? I always tell this story. I always grew up with horror films because I thought they were really interesting, cool, neato, groovy, whatever you want to say. Never really thought they didn't really scare me much. But the first film that ever I would say ever really gave me a scare was The Exorcist. And when I say The Exorcist, I didn't get to see it in the theater. I was too young, when the movie first came out, but I saw it when it was reissued and I turned 17, I got to see it as a release. And on a big screen, it was pretty intense. And that's what it is, because it's not, is it scary or is it just like, you're kind of like, you're like on the edge, like kind of tensed up to know what's going to happen next. Another one I always tell is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the only other film that kind of scared me. And then when I say scared, that's more of being creeped out. I was kind of creeped out and disturbed. It's a disturbing film. You see the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it really does put you ill at ease. It's very uncomfortable. It's unsettling kind of thing. And it's funny. I saw the first Paranormal Activity, and that was a little scary. I saw that in the theater, the first one. Impersonate J.J. Walker. I don't know if I couldn't do it right now, honestly. I got people upstairs, but maybe I could think about doing him at a drive-through or something like that, you know? Penny Lane, no, I'm actually not gonna see it at the IMAX theater, nope. But I'm thinking I might see it, get back to the rooftop if it comes back. It's supposed to come in February for 2 or 3 showings, and I may go then. It just didn't work out this time. Do you like sitcoms such as Seinfeld and Frasier? I like both. I like Seinfeld and I like Frasier, but I don't watch Seinfeld much anymore. I kind of like I had enough of that. But Frasier, I don't know if you know, but I just bought my girlfriend. My girlfriend loves Frasier, so I bought her the complete series on DVD, and we're currently finished season one, and now we're starting season two. And I do like the show. I haven't seen any episodes that are like drop dead funny episodes at all. But I like the characters. I like the character of Frasier and Niles and Daphne and all of them, Roz, and especially the dad, Martin. So I'm enjoying it, and the dog Eddie, of course. Would I have the red album, or white album? Which one would I have on a desert island? Oh, desert island. I like to think that if anybody ever was going to put me on a desert island, that I'd have some time to think. Like I wouldn't just say, "Oh, blah blah," and that's it. Like that's why I always approach these with some time. Don't know really. It's like my first thought was the white album, you know, and because it's got a lot of variety on there, but so do the other albums. So and then I think the red album because I like the early Beatles best of all. Right now, I'll say the white album, but that could change. Now, excuse me. And Lisa says, I saw The Exorcist at the theater. Freaked me out for weeks. We never saw anything like that. Right, that was it. And my mother, at the time, my mother was divorced at the time, and she had to share a bed with my sister, who at the time was 10 years old. So she went to see The Exorcist as a single mom. I guess, she went out. I guess we live with my grandparents. Let's put it that way. My mother and my grandparents, we shared a house. So my grandparents took care of us while she was out. My mother was out, I guess, looking for a new husband on a date. Anyway, she comes home terrified and has to sleep in bed after seeing The Exorcist in 1973 with a 10-year-old little girl, daughter. That's couldn't have been too much fun. Hello, Thomas. Good to hear from you. Have you gotten to like Dylan's rough and rowdy ways any better since when you made your first impressions video? A couple of things I want to say about that. The first thing is, well, no, I haven't played it again. I still have it on a CD. I haven't had the urge to play it again, so I don't know. My whole thing about that was I enjoyed the lyrics a lot. The poetry of it, but not so much the music or the song structure or anything as much. At the first impressions, by the way, I made a video, as you know, what's going to be new with my channel in 2022. And one crucially important thing I forgot to mention in it was that I'm going to really try to focus hard on those first time spins videos where I listen to music, albums for the first time. And to show you I'm going to do this, I actually went out and prepared. I went to my local store just quickly, in and out, boom, boom, boom. Couldn't stay long, and I picked up 10 or 11, I think it was, records for a dollar by different artists. So that's going to be one of my ideas to go in very cheaply and to buy albums. And sometimes there's Doors out the Doors, yes, they're not all like albums by nobodies or anything. And I'm going to buy them, and I'm going to use them specifically for a dollar each to come here and play and make more videos, first time spins. Yeah, stuff like when the head comes out at the bottom of the boat in Jaws. Those are scary moments in films, for sure. This is going on. I only wanted to keep these about an hour, and it's going a little over an hour. But because we're having fun here, I'll go on a little longer with this one. And let's see. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Let me just see here. Hold on, folks. Oh yes, definitely. Yes, the movie. The movie "It: The Terror from Beyond Space" was absolutely scary. I wonder if this is what I think it is. This ain't Richie, is it? I don't know. But anyway, Yeah, It the Terror from Beyond Space. That was a scary one, a genuinely scary one. The Monster of Piedras Blancas, the monster hardly showed up for that one. Chiller Theater, yeah, I remember Chiller Theater, but for me it was 1970, 1971, too. Will I be watching the Frasier reboot? Yes, if they ever get around to it. It's supposed to premiere this year sometime. If it does, I'll see it. Excuse me, I talk a lot here. Ooh, I'm sorry, man. Sorry these noises. I got like a little sound from the water. Wow. Anyway, yeah, I'd like to see the Frasier reboot, but it'll be something to watch with my girlfriend too. So let's see. Do you think the new technology with the new technology they can reasonably clean up live at the Star Club in Hamburg, Germany? No, I don't think so. I think they have cleaned it up somewhat. In other words, there is a release of that. That's the cleanest you can get it. I think I have it on CD. They did try to do that. They succeeded a little bit, but still, it's just not there. Because you see, if you're sitting really far away in the audience, King Size Taylor, I believe, it recorded that on a little old-fashioned reel-to-reel tape recorder, sitting in the audience. It's not there to begin with, right? It's just not there. It's not like it's there potential, and you got to like uncover the layers. I don't think they can do much with that. What's my favorite John Lennon book? I maybe yet to be written. I don't really know if I mean, I have a bunch of them. I have one back there. I can see the spine, Lennon by Ray Coleman, I think. I mean, I've read a few, but I'm still waiting for the ultimate one. I have to read the books by, man, I'm telling you, geez. So Jude Sutherland Kessler, right? Jude Kessler. She has a lot of Lennon books, and I want to. I don't have any of them. I like to read them. Let's see. The Honeymooners series is being redone with an all-female cast. Unfortunately, Bill, I've heard that too. What do I think? Nothing against women. I love women. However, I don't want to see the honeymooners. The honeymooners are done. The honeymooners are those characters, and the honeymooners are those actors. Leave it alone. They tried it once before, and a movie, But I'm not going to say it's bad. I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. But I'm just saying I don't have an interest. So, oh, I think this is ridiculous. How do I feel about Jay Leno playing Ed Sullivan? I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. And I saw photos of the Beatles, the actors playing the Beatles from this Brian Epstein biopic, Midas Man, and I think it looks absurd. They look nothing like the Beatles. I know you can't get spitting images, but they look terrible. Will there ever be an end to these exclusive streaming app services holding on to new films and shows and not releasing them for a long time? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one, Adam. I really wish if I had a crystal ball, maybe, and I really don't know. What is your favorite Elvis Presley book? I've got a bunch of them. My favorite one? Ooh, I don't know. I have one that I forget the name of it. It's a very thick book and it's like an encyclopedia because I'm not the biggest Elvis knowledgeable person. So it helps me learn things, but I cannot remember the name of it. Hello, Darren Gamble is here. He wants me to sing the monkeys, but I'm not doing it. Not today anyway. So everybody, let's see now. This is where we at. Okay. Maybe just a few more minutes. I'll stay here for another, I guess, 5, 10 minutes or something like this. As Rodney Dangerfield, we'll do another show for 30 or 40 minutes because I got nowhere to go. You know, no, but seriously, I have a movie I want to try to watch. So in the meantime, Just another 5 minutes or so. Okay, I guess that's it. There's no other questions. Well, all right, so that's it. Everybody, thanks a lot for being here. I'm going to try to do these more often. I don't want to do the Q&As too often, because if you do them too often, then they're just not as much fun, I don't think. And a lot of the questions will come up and be the same. So save your questions that now, if you're asking now, like Oliver, for the next one, you know. And yeah, I want to say again to plug myself a little bit. Please subscribe if you haven't already to Mean Mr. Mayo here on YouTube. Also on YouTube, I have two other channels. One of them is my movie channel. I talk about movies and television shows, and I'm trying to get that off the ground. I'm coming close to 1,000 subscribers on there. I like to try to hit 1,000, so help me out. Even if you don't care, just subscribe anyway. And that's Mayo's Movies. You can't get on YouTube. Can't get more simple than that. And the other show that I do is a show called Talk More Talk. And the Talk More Talk show is on YouTube. It's on every other Monday night. I think is it not this Monday? I think we're skipping this Monday. I think it's the Monday after. And I'm on there with Kit O'Toole, Ken Michaels, Tom Hunyadi, and we talk about solo Beatles really after the split, but also the Beatles as a group when there's something big, like we did a show, of course, and talked about the Let It Be box set release, and we talked about Get Back, the Peter Jackson documentary. So please subscribe to these channels, and in the case of Talk More Talk, be sure to tell you them over there. Mr. Mayo sent me. That's right. You have to keep me there. No, no, there's no problem. I just being funny. Yeah. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here. You're all the best, and it's so great to be able to share this with others. Thanks, everybody.